Hello everyone. Welcome to all of you for Global Women Empowerment Sessions 2020. As part of this program, today we have with us Swati Rajshekar from UK. She will be speaking about spirituality for working women. Ladies, creating your own regular meditation practice can help you feel more calm. It will help you to reduce your pressure at your workplace and ultimately help you to connect with your inner wisdom, which will lead to a happier, fulfilled, and healthy life. So, practicing meditation regularly can make you more resilient at your workplace, my dear friends. So, before starting up our session, let's meditate for 2 minutes by connecting with all the higher beings of love and light. So, I request everyone to please close your eyes and start observing your normal and natural breath. Now, let's invoke all the divine feminine goddesses energies, angels, archangels, Shiva Shakti consciousness, Mahavatar Babaji, and all the higher beings of love and light, and all the divine feminine masters in this universe. Let's all connect with them and do meditation, my dear friends. Silence your mind. When we silence our mind, we can feel and experience energies of all these divine beings. Let each and every cell, every part, every energy center in your body be completely filled with the divine healing energies, with the love and compassionate energies flowing from all these divine beings. Now, let's send and radiate this love and compassionate energies to all the beings on this planet Earth. May all the living beings on this planet Earth live happy, healthy, and peaceful. Let each and every person on this planet Earth become a meditator and a vegetarian for the highest and the greatest good of all. Now gently place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and you can slowly open your eyes. Friends, I'm Sri Lakshmi from UK. Under the guidance of our master, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, we are doing this 111 days of global goddess meditation circle with 111 feminine masters across the globe. The main intention of this program is to connect with all the divine goddesses, with all the feminine masters across the globe, to create this unified global collective grid across this planet Earth. So utilize this sacred space to send and radiate this love and compassionate energies to all the beings on this planet Earth, my dear friends. So I'm so happy to introduce today's speaker, my dear friend Swati from UK. Swati is a corporate professional and she's a wonderful meditation master, and she have a lot of profound third eye experiences. She and her husband Master Rajshekhar organizes meditation sessions in UK. She helped many people to transform their life through her meditation sessions. So I'm so happy, Swati, you're with us today. We welcome you.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you. I'm really happy and I'm really blessed to deliver this session today. Um, when I started preparing for this session, I didn't know what was going to flow, but within a span of like 1 hour, I guess the entire material got downloaded, and I was really happy that it is being delivered through me. And hi, friends. So today the topic will be about how spirituality can be applied, and how it will help when you are working. When I mean working woman, what I essentially mean is a woman who is taking up responsibility outside the construct of a family. So when it comes to family, applying spirituality is different. I'll explain why it is little different. When you are in a work setup, when you are in a responsible position, when you are responsible for the role or the work you are given, um, how spirituality helps and transforms is immense. And when it is not even when the position is in a monetary gaining position, or if it is financially involved, or it is another construct, or it is for a non-profit organization, or for a community you are getting involved, but taking up a responsibility and facing people outside your family, outside your social construct, outside the people you are regularly used to, brings a tremendous inner transformation. It helps you grow so much. And today I'll be speaking about my journey through all this corporate world, and how I use spirituality or lessons that I learned because I was spiritual or I was a meditator when I was working in this construct. I again a note here. It is not that women who are taking up responsibility as a homemaker cannot learn or apply spirituality, but I am sharing today the experiences that I learned during the construct of work or a professional responsibility. So initially, all was good. I was in college. I finished my studies. I was under a protection, a frame provided by my parents and my friends. All these people who were loving me, all these people, my parents were spiritual, so it was always good. Nothing much of an issue. Nothing. I was involved in meditation early from an early age. But the real test to my inner spirituality came when I started working. When I came out of my house and started working, the first thing I understood as a starter, I was working for a multinational organization in India. So when I started, I was a starter. I immediately felt there was an intellectual harassment for a starter. That was what I felt when I started working. There was an intellectual harassment because I was entirely at the mercy of my seniors, my project managers, and because the project is new to me, the subject is new to me. I am decent in the subject, but the domain is new to me, the project is new to me, and I need information, and I'm entirely dependent upon people in the project for me to deliver a work. And it is again at this point if all the people who are involved in my life are from my age, and the people, even if they are elder, they are my blood relatives, or are my blood relatives. So there was not much of a difference in energy levels with them, or even my friends are from my own frequency. So it was the energy levels were not much different. But when I started as a junior, I was able to understand that people from different backgrounds, different cities, different cultural setup, societal setup had different levels of energy. So the way they communicate differs much. The way they communicate can differ widely, and and whenever something was told to me without a please or a thank you, or whenever some information was pushed on me or work was pushed on me, I always felt I was being dominated. So there was always an inner turmoil inside me, and I was always reactionary. I was like, if some word is told and the inner turmoil starts, I became reactive, and it ultimately ended up being emotional. I ended up being emotional. So since I was brought up in the background of spirituality, I was looking for solutions spiritually. So I understood a concept called emotional boundary, where I decided I'm not going to be affected emotionally by them. So I became very conscious, and every mail that came to me or every word that was spoken to me, I started differentiating the message from the emotion. What is the message being delivered, and what is the emotion that is being shown? And most of the times I ignored the emotion, I threw the emotion out, and I only took the message. And it became a routine for me. I became more and more conscious of what was being told, and only up to that point. I created this emotional boundary around me, where the other person's emotions didn't cross my circle and didn't affect me in my work. So as I become conscious of other person's emotions, I started understanding my emotional quotient drastically increased. Started understanding how other people are, how their energies are. Some people have, every person used to have a prime time where they are very active, where they are very happy. Some people it used to be in the afternoon, for some people it used to be in the morning, and some people were always happy, so I can approach them at any time. Some people were moody at very specific time, so I used to ask them I used to ask them differently, or I used to ask them in a different way. So I became emotionally intelligent. As I became self aware of my emotions, the other people's emotions became very prominent to me. So I used to work around situations, I used to find solutions, I used to gain information in a way that their emotion didn't touch my emotion. So this is, though I was not entirely in control of every situation there, I was comfortable. I never felt like 100% I was comfortable in any situation, but day by day I was becoming more and more comfortable emotionally. Work wise it was all good, but understanding people and handling the information communication between the people, it became much improved. I became more and more conscious. And I also learned in this, when I started as a junior, I also learned that I have to be very responsible towards the words I give. Through this spiritual journey I have many masters, and one of my masters says spirituality starts with words. The words you give towards yourself and the words you give to the other people. Words that are said within you and words that are spoken outside. So I learned that you can't throw around words. I learned that every word that comes out of your mouth has to be very careful. And if I'm not able to keep up the word, I immediately had at least the intelligence to inform them immediately that I'm not able to keep up and I need little more time to finish that. So I became very intelligent around with my words, and it really helped, and I became integrated to it. So this is where I started my career as a junior. So until then, I have learned how to separate my emotions from the message and emotions, how to be very conscious around how people and what are the emotional intelligences, and how words are very important in a professional setup. How encouraging you can be. you can easily differentiate, you can easily feel the energy levels of a person depending upon the words he speaks. So I started being very integrated, and any word that comes out of my mouth became little more positive. Little by day, it became little more positive. So this was as a junior. Then I started moving countries. I went to Singapore to do my masters, and after my masters, I had to have a job in Singapore to sustain my visa. So this is again a new country. Again, the work ethics was different because when I started, it was a startup. So the number of hours I have to deliver is much more. The work ethics is different. The number of hours is different, and there was an additional pressure now because I have to keep the job to sustain my visa. So again, since this was a startup, every work comes under the entire spectrum of work is in your job description. You can never say I do not know this work, or I will not do this work. You are under a situation where everything is in your job description. You are bound to do everything in a startup organization. And under this situation, again, spirituality helped me a lot. My master says, I have learned this from my master. When you have to do some work, you knew nothing about it, and you think you might not have an energy to finish it, but deciding to complete and take a responsibility for that work gives you the energy and gives you the knowledge to finish that work. So it is not like you will only take up that work. It is not like you should take up the work only you have energy, only if you have time, and only if you have knowledge to finish that work. If you feel connected to the work, or if you decide, yes, I'm going to do it, the cosmos is responsible for delivering the information to you. The cosmos is responsible to putting the energy in your body and to deliver and to finish the work up. So never be afraid to take up responsibility. So from that day, I started telling yes to any work. It was a startup organization. Work comes by. So I started telling yes to all sorts of work, right from fixing my system, however menial it was, however small the work was. I started telling yes. So I started learning much. By this, I started learning much. My profile became diverse. So I started to learn to take up responsibility. As the time went, after 2 years, I was growing good. I was there with the growth. They came overconfidence as well. The ego started seeping in as well. So, and when the ego started seeping in, the learning that needs to happen in a professional setup started dropping. The learning has to happen, right? It became very stagnant. The last 1 year in that startup, I hardly learned anything new. I was just repeating what I was doing already, and it was not anything new. And because the learning didn't happen, because I stopped asking information from other people, I stopped asking questions. I was delivering what was needed of me, and I didn't learn anything new. And I didn't learn because there was a little ego inside me. So immediately I shifted to a new job in Singapore, and there was a big shock coming up my way. So I lost my job. I lost the next job immediately within a month. I was fired. That was because I was not up to their expectations. And I was decent. I know I was decent, but I was never up to their expectations. So what happened again? Again, I was in shock. I didn't know why I was fired. I was in shock. So I again started looking spiritually. What is happening? Why it is happening? Luckily, I didn't, because I was brought up in a spiritual setup. I was following spirituality. I didn't blame the situation. So it would have been very easy for me to blame it on the situation, telling it was because the manager didn't like me. It was because the company didn't have the finance. It would have been very easy for me to blame it on the situation. But luckily, because of spirituality, I didn't blame it on the situation. I started looking inside. Why did I lose this job? What did I lack to lose this job? And until then, I didn't realize the graph was slowing down, the learning curve was slowing down. When I understood that the learning has stopped, that is when I realized you can never stop learning. Even an enlightened master can never say he has learned. Even an enlightened person can never say he has finished learning everything. There is always to learn, and there is always something to expand on. And these are the words I have heard and heard out of many masters' speeches, many satsangs, and they kept flashing in within me. So I decided, okay, I'll start learning again. I can't stop learning. I can't. Only then I'll go to the next stage. And again, thanks for spirituality to making me understand that what I am lacking. So this is all in Singapore, and at this time I have become a little feminist, because until this position, all my decisions were mine, financial setup was mine, and there was no pressure on me to inform anyone to do anything. It was I have survived in a new country, I have survived in a new setup, so the confidence is good. So I started becoming more of a feminist. The male dominance, if someone is asking something out of me from a male body, I started seeing it as an arrogance from them or a dominance from them. So it was that. And immediately after that, my marriage was fixed, and I had to move to UK. I had to move to the UK. I got a remote work. I was working comfortably, and immediately then I started a job in a big corporation. So, again, a new surprise for me in this corporation. The entire team was made up of male men, and it made me a little uncomfortable. It it made me a little uncomfortable. This is all new to me, right? Until now, all the teams I was working in, there was at least almost an equal male and female ratio until now. So I was not very self-aware or self-conscious that I'm a soul sitting in a female body. I'm a female. I was a female person. I was not this aware. So the entire team is consisting of men now, and I was uncomfortable. And immediately, whenever I'm uncomfortable, I have had this habit of looking inside. What is that making me really uncomfortable? Why am I this uncomfortable to sit with a group of men and work? So when I started looking inside, after meditation, I used to do this after meditation. Whenever I feel uncomfortable, I used to sit for meditation. After meditation, I used to look inside. What is happening? Why am I feeling uncomfortable? Whenever it came up, all the situations or all the experiences in my life where I was made to feel that I was a female, where I was made to fear because I was a female, like my grandmother saying you should not laugh aloud because you are in a room filled with men, or my friends saying why do we need to talk to other boys in the college, or when other people saying or when another person saying uh, you have to be dressed this way, or you have to feel this way because you are a soul and you are a woman, and all those differences, that all the experiences I had, whichever experiences that made me afraid or shy or very self-aware because I was a girl or a woman, all these came up, and I slowly started releasing all those energies out. Released all these energies, I slowly I became very comfortable. This made me very comfortable in office. So all were men, but I stopped projecting that I was a female, right? So they never formed boundaries with me. Just because I was a woman, there was no boundaries. This is when I realized I have started transcending this physical body. Okay, there is more than physical body. I have started transcending experientially. Theory is always good. You always have theory in spirituality, but feeling it experientially is where you gain, where it stays inside your being. So I started transcending this physical body, and I was looking at everyone as a being. So in the entire team, everyone was a being, and I was also a being. So the communication happened much more freely, much more easily. So now I'm already humbled because I have lost a job. I am learning now. I started asking information again. So when and all the dominance I felt because I was in the female feminist mode, and I never felt them. Even though the entire team, it was more than 15 members, I guess. Even then, the entire team was male members. I never felt their dominance once, or I never felt I was not deserving money equal to them. So whenever I asked for a rise in salary, they paid more than some, and they paid less than some, but they never differentiated. It all happened naturally. And I started celebrating small successes because now I know I'm a being. I feel deserved. I started feeling deserved. All the small successes, all the small appreciations that came my way, I used to start enjoying them. So this is where in UK, right? And for this job, I had to travel a lot. I used to stay in hotels for 4 days a week, and I used to come back to home for remaining 3 days. So I used to stay away in hotels, and until this point, I have never stayed alone because I used to have roommates. Even in Singapore, I used to have roommates. Even as married woman, my husband was always there. So I never really stayed alone. So this was the first time for work I am staying away in hotels, and that too for a prime time of the week. So this is when I started really understanding, okay, if I felt lonely or disturbed, I started looking and really started understanding, am I really happy? Am I really happy, or whether am I happy only because this person is there in my life, or that person is there in my life? So what will happen? And all these questions started coming up, and slowly I become very comfortable, very comfortable. Even in that, if no one is there in that hotel also, I was very comfortable. I even for the prime time of the time, I used to enjoy. I used to read books, I used to meditate, I used to eat what I like, I used to enjoy. I used to really enjoy. I have even visited cinemas. I used to go to cinemas once a week, sometimes very rarely when I have time, sometimes once a week, and used to watch movies if I liked them. And I really loved my life. I really am loving, but that time is when I started understanding that it is my happiness is not dependent on the another person. And that experience, when this all happens because you're working outside, right? You're traveling, you're working outside. This happens. There is a time to learn. This is what happened during the period. And next, after all this, I wanted a baby. I decided to have a baby. So now it always happens in a woman's corporate career that the graph is always up, break, down, again up, break, down. Not as compared to men. They do not have gaps in their career. For women, it is like this: up, down, break, down. And I was hesitant to leave my job because I want to involve myself in the family. I wanted to have a baby. I was really hesitant to drop my job and have a break from work. And it was making me uncomfortable. I want a baby, but I'm not ready to give up something to have something. I am really struggling with that decision. Again, spirituality helped. Really helped. When I looked inside, my mom was a working mom. My grandmother was working. I have seen women working, and so it was always inside me that I have to be independent to make decisions. I should not depend on someone, be financially stable, or I should not depend on someone to make my decisions. Everything I need should be I should do it. So the where now, if I have to leave the job, I am of course dependent on my husband for monetary gains. So this dependency is making me really uncomfortable. So once I found this is what is making me uncomfortable, again I sat in meditation and I started releasing those energies. All the experiences that I had where my mom said you need to have a job, she said you have to have a job. Having a job is nothing wrong, but having it for a purpose that you can never be dependent on the others, or it is inferior to be dependent on others. That is not a right motive to have a corporate job. So I started dropping all those emotions, and slowly again spirituality helped. And it is now in the mode of surrender, right? I have to go with the flow of life, and this is again a new concept to me. So until now, I was the one creating my reality, because if any problem comes, I know how to break the pattern. And I used to create my reality. Whatever I want, I manifested, and I used to create my reality. Now this going with the flow concept is again very new to me. So I was struggling to have this concept of going with the flow and being in the mode of surrender to the cosmos. And it always felt contradictory, the mode of surrender, going with the flow on one hand, and the concept of creating my own reality on the other hand. They always felt contradictory to me. And suddenly when I cleared this pattern of not being this the dependency is where the dependency is not right, when I cleared that inside me, I immediately I started feeling they are not contradicting. They are actually complementing each other. It is like, when you actually surrender, you gain the strength to create your reality. You gain the strength to manifest anything you want, because the concept of surrender is there to take off this immense pressure, right? It leaves the immense pressure. You can go on doing your work and manifesting your reality. And on the other hand, when you start manifesting your reality, you gain immense trust in cosmos. When you in anything and everything you want, when it gets manifested, it gives you a deep trust in cosmos, and the mode of surrender automatically peeps inside you. So this understanding happened. When this understanding happened, I was very comfortable in leaving my job and to have a baby. It was all comfortable. And it was not that my husband was making me feel inferior, nothing like that. My dad was making me feel, no, none of the male energies in my life was intruding my life. It was all my understanding, all the experiences I saw in my friends' family, or from my grandparents, or from someone else. So I was the one who formed these opinions. And when I started breaking them, it gave me immense relaxation, immense freedom. And I think for most of us, that is why having a career, or having a professional career, or a project to get involved in outside your house, outside the boundary of your family, is really important. Because what happens is, when you learn immensely, and all the story I'm telling you, it happened in a span of 10 years. It was not more than that. This is how much I have learned. I have learned to take up responsibility. I have learned to become integrated to my words. I have learned to become very comfortable with the flow of life, and have started transcending being male and female, and seeing oneness, feeling the beings are there, being is there, rather than the body. And all this happened in a 10-year span. So when you are working, there is an opportunity to learn all this. It takes you, the spiritual journey happens much quicker. And it is like this: the job you take up, or the work you take up outside the boundary of your house, it's like a sandbox for you to test your inner strength. It is like a sandbox for you to test your spirituality. How strong are you? What are you? What are the things which you have left to learn, which are left to learn in your life? And there is no option for you to say no to learning now, because you have to face these situations, and alone as well sometimes. So you automatically start learning. When you are spiritual, you start learning very faster. Your spirituality, your inner strength becomes strong. So what happens, the same thing when you do it in a family setup. Of course, all these learnings which I have learned, I've applied to the family as well. And they have immensely helped. But what happens when you wanted to learn all these things in a family setup? I feel the process gets delayed. That is because the entire family is bound to you by love. When the entire family is bound to you by love, all your mistakes are understood, they are ignored. because it is a loving family, right? Automatically they become ignored, and they are very forgiving as well. They ignore your mistakes, they forgive your mistakes, they say it's okay, she is like that. uh, she is like that, and that is okay. Oh, but and that is okay. In that setup, learning all these things will take you much more time. um, the same situation when it happens in your work setup, where you have taken up a responsibility, where you are bound to face different people apart from your family, you learn it much quicker. The spirituality grows in you much stronger. So I would always recommend to take up projects, whatever they may be, financial or non-financial. I would recommend you to take up projects, get involved, face as many people as possible, because they are just a projection of you. And the moment you feel little uncomfortability with anyone or any situation that is happening, and immediately you can start looking inside, it becomes easier. It becomes, the life will always show you, irrespective whether you work, whether you be in a family, whether you're handling people or not, the life is bound to show you what, where you are uncomfortable. So but you yourself taking up responsibility and seeing where, what is that we need to learn, where, how strong are we internally, is really important. And that is how spirituality helps, and that is how your career will help you spiritually. It's vice versa. The more you are strong inside, that is how you project your career as well. You gain name, fame, money, it comes automatically. Again, the more problems you face outside and start looking inside, your inner strength grows. You move spiritually very quickly, very quickly. So that is how what I have learned. And I am pregnant now. I think I have much more to learn still, but for now, this is what I have learned. Thank you, friends. Thank you for listening. And I think we will enter a meditation session now. Let us sit in meditation. Completely relax. Cross your feet. Clasp your fingers. And slowly close your eyes. And observe your breath. Observe how you inhale and how you exhale. Observe how the air flows in, enters your body, and how it comes out of your nostrils. Whatever whatever may be the emotional situation you're going through. That is okay. Let us accept it. And gently release all the energies, whatever may be then, energies of fear, agitation, tiredness, anger, jealousy, inferiority. Release all those energies, my dear friends. Completely relax. Be with the breath. No other thoughts, my dear friends. Meditation happens very easily in a female body, my dear friends. How blessed it is to have a female body. Be with the breath. Let us invite all the female masters, all the female energies in the male masters. Be with the breath. Observe the energy. Observe the energy that is flowing through your entire body. Last 5 minutes, my dear friends, to be with the breath. What a gift meditation is, my dear friends. Hold this thoughtless space. Let us not give energy to any of the thoughts. Be with the breath, my dear friends. Let us be as sincere as possible. Let us enjoy this body, my dear friends. Let us gain all the experiences, all the spiritual experiences. Enjoy this femininity. Last 1 minute, my dear friends. Be in the thoughtless space. When you're ready, place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And gently open your eyes, my dear friends. Thank you, friends.
Yes. Thank you so much, Swati, for sharing your beautiful transformational journey. Wow, what a wonderful journey. How many learnings. Thank you so much for sharing. What you said is, I truly resonate with what you said. Like, we have to start the work, then masters, or because when we start the work, we learn from that work. So when I got this idea of this triple one days meditation to start with Global Goddess Meditation Circle, I didn't put my mind because I got that intuition from my heart. So I'm learning from many masters, so much expansion, so much learning is happening in me. So it applies maybe in the material world or the spiritual life. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
And
you, thank you.
yes, and we have received so comments. So we are so happy that masters they are they wonderfully connected to their feminine side. Yeah, and so thank you so much, friends, for utilizing these sessions. And please, along with this meditation practice, please do your inner work, because the whatever the problem might be in your life, just connect with your inner, break your belief systems, and change the way how you see the world, change your perceptions in your life. And yeah, Swati, would you like to share anything?
Yes, so thank you, thank you. I should thank all my masters, all the teachings they have taught me, and all the experiences I have had, this life, past life, all of them to put together. I think everything was done right. All the ups and downs, they were good. They brought me to this space, and I'm really, really happy. And thanks to all the masters and this platform as well for helping me share this experience. Thank you, Patri sir, ultimately for this experience, for this platform. Thank you.
Truly said, Swati. Thank you so much once again. And friends, let's connect with one more master tomorrow. Until then, signing off. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yes. And congratulations, Swati.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Bye, all.